some of the mushrooms out there they're probably fighting over with Bigfoot.
I don't know. All I know is, and then you get these dumb shits, okay, that go out Bigfoot hunting. I had one on my show. It'd go out the middle of the forest, hike in 10, 15 miles, right? Doesn't have a gun because he doesn't believe in it because he doesn't want to hurt a Bigfoot. Okay. And I said, well, what protection do you have? Oh, I got a 4-inch pocket knife. And I said, okay, I'm not worried about you running in a Bigfoot because you're probably not going to make one because you're probably stomping and chewing gums too loud. But how about any mountain lions, cougars, or bears, or any other creature that might decide to want to eat you, or a wolf, or any of that stuff? What are you going to protect yourself with a 4-inch blade knife? Are you that naive?
Yeah, really. And then here's the other thing. You don't borrow your wife's car because Bigfoot will liable to throw a rock at you.
Will you stop bringing that up, James? My wife the other night decided to listen to, not my current show, but she was listening to some of the other ones, and you did that. She happened to listen when we were talking about that, and you brought that up.
Oh, no, that must have brought a whole conversation in the house that night. Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah, I sure did. You have to realize we were, at that point, married, I don't know, 30 or 20-some years at that point. Well, let's see, when was this? 2002. I've been married 42 years. Well, I was married quite a long time. I never let my wife pick out her own car. I always bought the car, and she got stuck with it. This time I said, hey, buy any car you want. And ever since then, I have. Okay? I would let her go pick out her own car. She signs a contract. She's happy. I don't deal with it. I don't even go to the car lot no more with her. I let her go buy her own car. Anyway, she's, saved up the down payment. I think pay half down. She bought a Cavalier, a black Cavalier, brand spanking new. Her first car in her whole life, she bought brand new, right? Now, I had a Jeep, a nice one, off-road one, but it had like 150, 160,000 miles on it. And honestly, I wouldn't trust it going up the Canadian Rockies, that many miles on it. And my wife was nice enough to say, okay, well, you and your friend are going. You want something a little bit more spacious than that crappy Jeep you got. So why don't you take my car? And, I said, are you sure? And she goes, yeah. So, we run in the Bigfoot, and after the encounter where it chased us back to the car and I dragged my friend and almost ran over him, it threw a huge rock and took out the front passenger fender. I come home, right? And my wife goes, oh, my God, what did you do to my car? I know I should never let you take it. Oh, my God, what did you do to my car? I said, I didn't do nothing. And she goes, okay, I know you don't drink, but you must have done drinking or did something. What did you hit with my car? What did you do? And I said, Linda, I'm going to tell you the truth. And she goes, yeah, okay, what is it? I said, a big rock. A big rock came from a Bigfoot and tossed it at the car and hit. And it actually even took out part of the door, the edge of the door, where the hinges are. So you couldn't even, after it hit that, you couldn't actually, open the door all the way or close it, easily.
Man.
And she goes, oh, come on. You know what? We've been married this long. You don't have to lie to me. I said, I'm not lying to you. I said, don't you realize we were supposed to be gone for 2 weeks and I come home a week out? We came right. It killed the whole trip of wanting to go take pictures because after that we ran into Bigfoot. You think we're going to go out and do pictures of ghost towns and out in the old, Canadian Rockies after what we ran into? We got so shook up we came home, and I lost a good friend over it because you know what? Here he is, right? He's opening up in Puyallup, Washington at the time, his medical practice, right?
Right.
His father, being a judge and a brother who was a top-known criminal attorney, gave him a bunch of money or loaned him a bunch of money where he could hire people and put in his medical practice, okay? He was so worried, because, I worked retail. I was a general manager of a business at that point, that I was going to open my mouth and tell people You know, hey, we ran into a Bigfoot, me and my friend such and such, right? He said, Gary, he goes, I love you. We've been good friends for a couple of years, but you know what? We better not talk to each other anymore, because if this gets out, you know, I'm not going to have no patients coming into my medical practice.
Wow.
And, you know, my father and my brother, all this money they invested, and my wife's going to divorce me and all this stuff. That's what we talked about all the way back home from the Canadian Rockies, 2 days of it. You know,
oh my God.
And that was the end of our good friendship. And
all because of some damn Bigfoot you stumbled upon, and then your wife's car got crushed up. Oh Lord, that Bigfoot set off a chain of events that is still going on today.
Well, like I said, you know, my wife had of all the shows to listen to when she was bored, not watching TV. She had got out her little cell phone and then her iPhone, and then went on to one of the apps and started listening to some of the prior shows. And there you opened your mouth about the orbs and, you know, Bigfoot, and it just brought it all up.
Damn, James. Damn it.
Yeah.
I would have loved to heard that conversation, boy. That would have been something.
Oh, yeah. We went to bed, right? And she wouldn't even talk to me. We're talking 2002, man. This happened. It was not like last week.
Right. Oh, jeez.
I have more to lose, okay? The only reason why I ever brought it up on my show, because I had so many freaking guests on my show saying that Bigfoot are giving off orbs and they're friendly and they want to protect mankind, or they come from a portal and they're actually aliens or brought down by aliens. I don't know, and I don't give a crap. I saw a Bigfoot. That's all I can say. And it's not my imagination. I have more to lose by saying I saw a Bigfoot than you know, why would I say it if I didn't see it? My credibility is right out the window when I say it.
Yeah, really. I mean, right, you've got a lot to lose for it. Right, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you've got anything to gain here. I mean, first of all, how did you call the insurance company, Geico, and say, hey, you know,
oh, come on.
Bigfoot rocks?
I lied to my insurance company. They asked, you know, when I took it in to get it fixed, they said, what happened? I said, I don't know. I came out of the motel room and there it was. Can you imagine? You're talking to the claims of one of the largest insurance companies. Oh, what happened to you, sir? What happened to your front fender of your car? Oh, I was up in the Canadian Rockies and we ran into a Bigfoot and threw a rock.
Yeah, really.
Okay, well, you don't need our insurance anymore, do you? Cancellation.
Really? You got Bigfoot coverage on there? Oh, my goodness.
I don't know. So that
is wild.
But I can honestly tell you that, you know, maybe to some people, Bigfoot give off orbs. Okay? Maybe they do. Maybe they're on the same plane as that one talk show host I had. I don't know. I don't think they communicate with us telepathically, because you know what? It didn't communicate. It screamed and it made weird noises and it stunk like holy hell. And I can tell you, it was not friendly. Okay? I know for a fact we wouldn't have got in, and I don't know if that was even the same one. It could have been its buddy, mate. I don't know. But I can tell you this, if we would have stood our ground, I wouldn't be talking on the radio right now or on Facebook Live. I've been long gone. I would have been probably 80.
You would have been one of the missing people in the forest.
Well, I don't know. I talked about this too, because my daughter married into a local Indian tribe, Muckleshoot Indian tribe. And years back, and I talked to them about Bigfoot. And they didn't have a medicine man, but they had a medicine woman. And, you know, she started talking about all these legends and stories, you know, are passed down about Bigfoot, you know, that how they would, you know, the squaws would be down at the river washing their clothes and taking a bath and washing their kids and stuff. And all of a sudden a group of Bigfoot would come through and grab a squaw or a couple of the kids and run off. And then the male, warriors would go after, afterwards they'd go after him, right? And then they'd find parts of, their loved ones, that were like munched on. And that was around like in the 1800s, or middle 1800s, late 1900s, around 1880s, 1890s, she said.
Yeah.
And that tells me, that I don't think they really were friendly towards humans if they looked at us as, food. And also, she even went as far as saying that all of a sudden, in their village, all of a sudden a bunch of Bigfoot would come running through the village and snagging kids and women. And the same thing would happen. They would go where they suspected the Bigfoot, had, and then they'd find, a day or two later, their remains. So I don't know. Maybe
I don't either, but I think if anything, it's like any other animal. They're unpredictable. But like bears, probably most of them will eat you, or you shouldn't be around them if they've got maybe young ones around a tree or something that you don't even see. In other words, you shouldn't take a chance. You see them, run to the car.
Well, yeah, but you know what? The people who look at Bigfoot, they a lot of them out there, the researchers who write the books and stuff, they almost make Bigfoot like human, okay, or as intelligent as human. I don't know what they are, okay? I don't know, I didn't sit down and talk to it to figure out what it is or what it is or,
Well, they could be as intelligent as us or even more, but here's the thing. They weren't raised like us. They don't have the mentality as us, and they don't think like us. So, therefore, that's a whole different ball game.
Well, hey, you remember caveman? They would eat each other.
Oh, my.
You go to certain parts of this world, like in the Amazon, yet there's still tribes out there that eat each other.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Yeah, the long pig, yeah.
Yeah.
Boy.
And then you think of Bigfoot, okay? They weren't educated. They didn't go to school. They didn't know what God is. They didn't have a Bible. They didn't know who Jesus is. You're going to try and tell me that they're going to have respect for humans?
Right. They might not even know the degree of empathy that humans have compared to what they have, or maybe they're not even capable of it. We don't know.
Well, do we shoot bear and eat it?
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine you're way out. I'm not talking locally in like near a campground where some people claim they see Bigfoot. But if you're out in the middle of nowhere, 15, 20 miles away from anybody, out in the middle of nowhere, okay? Are you trying to tell me that these Bigfoot know what humans are?
Right. I get it.
They might look at us,
and you were up there, in Canada? There's some of the places in Canada you can't even get to. You got to fly in. I mean, there's hundreds of miles of woods before you ever even see a road, some of them places out there.
Well, don't forget, they built this World War II internment camp for the Japanese out in the middle of nowhere for one reason. Where is the prisoners going to go?
Right, and maybe they knew there was Bigfoot there. Maybe they knew if they did escape it, what they was going to end up facing. Thinking about that one.
Oh, I don't know. All I know is that my encounter was not a friendly encounter, and I just didn't feel like it gave me any orbs or try to communicate with me, other than it chased us like you wouldn't believe. And and if it was loving and caring, would it put a dent in my wife's front fender?
He wouldn't have gave you a big pet rock to take home to your wife.
Yeah, well, I don't know. So I'm the opposite of Rush. Okay, a lot of people that don't realize, this is the real me. But again, when I do my show, I treat each guest with respect and let them tell their story and leave it up to you, the listener, to take it as entertainment, or I don't care if you believe it or disbelieve it. It's just entertainment. That's what I try to give. But, it's a lot of things going on, and I love all of you guys who listen to my show. I just want all the best for people.
Right. I agree.
What?
I agree with that. Even Bigfoot. But I know one thing. If if I happen to do come across one, I don't think I'm going to try to rustle it or anything.
Well, you better have more than a 4-inch blade knife with you.